Hope you are excited as I am to tackle the next ornament in the series, which is the 11 Pipers piping. Here is the one I'll be showing you how to make today. So welcome to my channel, I'm really glad to have you back. Let's go over the supplies together before we start stitching. For this ornament we are going to need felt, thread, a needle, double-sided tape, a sharp pair of scissors, ribbon, a marker, stuffing, and of course the pattern from the book. I've already made a copy of the pattern so I can keep the book intact. Since we are getting closer to the end of the series, I'm trying to keep the colors consistent. The brownish green felt is the same one I used on a French hen and also for the inside wing of the turtle dove. The terracotta color shows up in the Maids a Milking, Lords a Leaping, and I also used it for the beak in the swan ornament. And this light brown felt, you'll recognize it from the faces and hands on both the Maids a Milking and the Lords a Leaping. Let's get started by cutting out our felt pieces. I like to begin by roughly cutting the shapes out from the paper pattern. To keep everything in place and make sure my cuts are nice and precise, I use a little double-sided tape to secure the pattern onto the felt. Then with a sharp pair of scissors, I carefully cut out all the pieces I'll need. If you are cutting out multiple pieces, there is no need to reapply the double-sided tape. It should still be sticky enough to hold the pattern in place. To make the Piper piping, we'll need to cut out the following pieces: body, face, hair, gloves, pipe, and all the parts for the hat. I am going to start by working on the face first. Using my heat erasable marker, I'll start by drawing the face. Once I'm happy with how it looks, I'll embroider the eyes and mouth. Place the face on top of one of the hair pieces, lining up the top edges. Then embroider the eyes and mouth with a curved line of back stitches. Using simple straight stitches, I'll add the eyelashes. This gives the Piper gentle and relaxed expression. Next, I'll stitch one of the body pieces onto the lower edge of the front hair, just below the chin. You can use either straight stitches or a blanket stitch here. Don't worry too much about how it looks. This part won't be visible later, since it will be covered by the pipe and the glove. Now repeat the same steps for the back. Make sure everything is lined up and then stitch the back hairpiece onto the body. This side will be visible, so take your time and make your stitches nice and neat. Next, we are going to assemble the pipe. Start by adding a few French knots spaced out evenly along one side to look like the holes of the pipe. Now grab the other side of the pipe and begin connecting the two pieces with a blanket stitch. Leave one end open because we'll need to add some toy filling to give it a nice rounded shape. Grab a skewer and some toy filling and start stuffing the pipe a little bit at a time. This will help you push the filling in evenly and keep the shape nice and round. Once the pipe is nicely stuffed, finish it up by closing the end with a few blanket stitches. Add one glove and hold it in place with a line of back stitches at the wrist. I don't have any musical talents myself, but I can only imagine how tricky it must be to play the pipe while wearing gloves. This little piper must be really talented. Next, position the pipe so it goes across from the glove to the mouth and secure it with a few hidden stitches along the back of the pipe. Now add the second glove and secure it the same way with a line of back stitches across the wrist. Our little piper is ready to play with both hands, gloves and all. Next, I'm going to lightly draw the lines for the arms with my marker, and then I'll embroider them using a line of back stitches. You could skip this step if you like, but for me it helps. Sewing a straight line can be tricky, so drawing it first makes it a lot easier. The arms are ready, and now it's time to decorate the body with these fun little musical notes. While you watch me embroider some musical notes, let's talk about the current giveaway. If you would like to participate, just answer the giveaway question in the comments below. Each video in the series has a question, and the more you answer, the better your chances of winning. If you don't want to participate, that's totally fine too. You can always just say hi. I'd really love to hear from you. All the rules are listed in the description box below, so make sure to check them out. Since our ornament is musical themed, so is the question. Do you ever go caroling? I wish I could, but honestly, I can't even listen to myself singing. I don't need to be putting others through that. How about you? Let me know in the comments for your chance to win the whole set of ornaments. Before we can connect the front and back, we need to assemble the hat. I'll start by decorating the brim with a few French knots. Once the brim is decorated, I'll add 2 little star stitches to the front of the hat. Before I start connecting the pieces of the hat, I'll hem the top of the brim with a blanket stitch. I've already hemmed the front of the brim, and now I'm doing the same on the back to match. I am getting my ribbon ready and cutting off about 7 inches. Then I'll start connecting the head pieces together. Place the brim on the head and connect the 2 pieces together using a blanket stitch. Once you're done with the front side, repeat the same process for the back side of the head. Now start connecting the front and back of the head together with a blanket stitch. When you reach the top, fold the ribbon in half, insert it between the 2 layers and secure it with a few stitches. Don't connect the brims together just yet. We'll need to be able to lower it later and attach it to the head. You'll see. Time for the final assembly. Align the front and back pieces of the body and start stitching around them with a blanket stitch to connect them. I'm starting with just the body first because I'll be using a different colored thread for the hair. Here I'm using a red thread for the body, but for the hair I'll switch to brown so stitches are less visible. Now it's time to connect the hair. Be careful not to stitch through the face. Gently lift it up and make sure you are only catching the brown hair felt pieces while sewing. I hope you are enjoying this video and the whole 12 Days of Christmas series as much as I've loved making it for you. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the last ornament and all the fun projects I've got coming up. And if you've been following along from the start, thank you so much. Your support really means the world to me. Grab some toy filling and gently stuff the ornament through the opening at the top of the head. Don't forget to stuff the head as well. Insert the head into the hat and lower the brim. Secure it in place with some small straight stitches through the head, making sure it holds firmly. Lastly, connect the 2 sides of the brim to finish off the hat. And just like that, the 11 pipers piping ornament is ready. What do you think? I think it's absolutely adorable. Next up is the 12 drummers drumming, and sadly, that's the last video in the series. Until next time, happy crafting!